make sure I word this the right way because I'm a team player kind of guy, but you know, we're into a college basketball season. It's very difficult for these guys to walk into an arena and not have the energy in the building. And yet, their performance where they had to generate their own energy and playing a game where I thought they were almost flawless in the first half against a really good basketball team. You just don't go to BYU and put up 114 on them and go up to Gonzaga and lose by 11 and have those kind of shooters. And I thought we were superb in the first half. The second half, it shows you how good they were because as soon as we had that slippage, they made us pay in the game. But I'm proud of this team. In the last 4 or 5 minutes, they did everything right to close out a game. They made their free throws. They didn't panic, even though the guys had some tough shots, and they closed it out. If you don't believe me now when I said this several times, just how gifted of a player that Malachi is. I've had some great point guards, and I've said it before, he has to have their success, but he has the ability to be something special. And you don't have to come in the gym and look at me in my suits. You can come in the gym and look at a really, really good player. And I just don't understand what people are waiting for because he is special and he is something to behold because he is smart. He understands the game. He's a student of the game. He's an excellent student in the classroom, as is all of these guys. And he plays with the flair. He plays with the flair that would want you to come out and see him play. So I'm hoping that in time, we can regain the faith of our students and everybody. We know we let a couple games get away, and just be able to get that energy in the building that would certainly make us better defensively, faster offensively, and certainly put a little bit more pressure on our opponents. Yet fully understanding that sometimes you have to build it before they come, and that's what we're in the middle of doing right now. And hopefully those that came tonight can go out and tell 10 friends, I hope. Bring them all with you. Come see this team play because they have a chance if they can just keep their confidence and grow together.
There was sort of a big moment for Malachi in his development late in the game to kind of get his pocket picked and dunked on. How do you think he responded to that in the subsequent possessions and getting that rebound?
I think he was very, very mad at himself because that just doesn't happen to him. And he played against a player that was the 84th player in the nation coming out of high school, going to Xavier, that picked his pocket. That is a very good player. And for him to just regain his composure and still get back and inbound the ball to the right player, come to the huddle, ask how many timeouts, who do you want the ball to go to, coach, I can't run the baseline because I've already got the rebound. He just understands the game, and he just plays with a poise that even at his pocket pick, you knew he was going to come back and do everything right to close out the game. And so that was a big moment for him.
Is he sort of learning in these last couple of games that for you guys to be successful, he has to hunt for his own shot a little bit? He can't be a freshman and defer?
I don't know if it's for us to be successful, he has to do that. I've told him from day one, there will come a time where he'll understand the system and he'll understand how to get his points. Because initially, I did the same thing with Ridnour. All they felt like they were doing were hitting ahead and running to the corner, hit ahead, run to the corner. And now he's starting to figure out the freedom that's in this system, but yet it's controlled freedom. But he understands now how to pick and choose, where to get his points, where to give the ball up and do those types of things. He will only get better in time as he continues to trust the system, trust his teammates, and more importantly, his teammates continue to trust him.
Malachi, you guys got into a 2-possession game. It was 75-69 at the time, and he really put it on his shoulders with a drive to the basket, and then he kind of had a Jordan move where he kind of pushed his defender away and hit a beautiful step-back jumper. Talk about how he took advantage of the offense in that possession.
I think he took advantage of the moment because I think for teams to really be good, you have to have great guard play. And all your good teams have that point guard that really understands, and he's just one of those guys. So I think he sees the moment that a play needs to be made. He has the ability to do it, and the fact, again, that his teammates allowed him to do it tells you a lot about his game.
They're obviously a great three-point shooting team. As you said, put up a lot of points at BYU. Do you feel like you guys did a sufficient job of cutting down their opportunities and closing down on them in the line?
You know, that team averages, I think, 38 threes the games they take, and that first half, to hold that team to 31 points was huge. and not only hold them to 31, but score 49 yourself, that was huge. And that's how we played Utah State. We did that with Montana. We did that over in Italy. That's a credit also to our defense, and Coach Dominguez had a great game plan. But they are a good team, and the attention to detail on teams that can shoot it like that is very similar to those European teams. They got great perimeter shooters and that skilled big man, crafty big man, that if you fall asleep for a second, it's just boom, boom, boom. It's lights out. They come right back up on you, and that's exactly happened in this game. So I really want to evaluate. I remember there were at least 3 possessions where we went for steals. That's not in our game plan, not in our DNA. Missed the steal, gave up a drive, a kick, and a three-pointer. Those were big buckets in that game. So as soon as you broke down and went out of character, that team made you pay. That team's going to win a lot of games this year with the way they shoot the ball and how smart they play.
I feel like you got Darian back on his game a little bit today.
I don't know if it came today. I think it came a couple days ago with everybody. With this team sat down and really self-evaluated ourselves. I think that really helped them a lot. And DK can score, and he's really, really, really smart on the floor. Has a high basketball IQ. Defensively, he's just tremendous. He's everywhere. You don't see all the things that he does until you go back and look at tape. So yes, I do, and yet I still think he's got a whole nother level in his game. These guys have a lot of confidence in him.
Ike didn't really score or was really flashy, but his defense on Brandon Randolph tonight, talk about how he was able to control their floor general.
I think the thing that I started to learn is you don't have to be flashy. You don't have to be the man. I always say just be poised and let the game come to you, because he's so strong, he's so quick. He did the things on defense that are like scoring points. He took points away from them. So again, for him to back off and give Malachi the spotlight and shut that guy down, that tells you a lot about his character, but also tells you a lot about this team, that they feel that kind of confidence in Malachi, that seniors can do that and be able to, even with Josh, you saw us put him on the bench when he didn't defend. We talked about that. Put him on the bench when he didn't rebound, and Robert Franks jumped in there and boom, 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 boom. Jeff Pollard jumped in with sound poise, our best defensive player of the big. So it gives those guys some confidence to know that we have that kind of confidence in them.
Was this the best you've seen your bench so far this season tonight?
They were this way against Montana. They were this way against Utah State. They were this way over in Italy. They have the ingredients sitting there. And we have so much more offensive potential that if we can get this crowd in here to give us that juice that we need, we can get there a lot quicker. Otherwise, we got to go on the road, and that road is tough out there, and we got to learn how to do that. But it's probably the best they've played, but they've done it before. The most consistent, I say, from start to finish, the bench was.
Ike had the 3 quick turnovers, and you gave him some time on the bench. Did he make whatever adjustments or whatever you were kind of imparting to him at that point?
I don't think it's about adjustments. It's about just calming them down. And Ike gets so juiced up for games and just so excited to play. And sometimes, again, so sometimes you need to come sit down, calm down a little bit, and then get back out on the floor. I thought he went back out. He took a 3 that missed, but yet it was in rhythm. But more importantly, I thought he started to calm down and play. As we closed out the first half, he was really good on defense and offense. Made some good plays.
Seemed like there were a couple of timeouts with the officials as they were trying to figure out some things. Was that a tempo thing that you were wanting to get back? Because it seemed like after those timeouts, it took a little bit to get back into the rhythm.
I thought whatever situations they had, looking at a shot clock to see if seconds had run off that they should have gotten and they didn't get it, and they made the correction, which is what they should. Looking at it to see, again, if the right foul was called and put in on the right guy. They had to look at it, and they got it, which they did. Those were momentum stoppers for us. They were great for Utah Valley because it gave them a chance to catch their breath, regroup, come at us a little bit more. For us, we felt like we had a team on the road. We wanted to keep running speed and fast, and it slowed the first half down. So again, to be able to close out the half with the stoppages that took place that you don't have any control over, that's a good job on our part.
How do you get how are you talking to him to get the speed back when you're dealing with those situations that are kind of tempo stealers?
Defense gives us our speed. When we get teams to miss, we get out and run. When teams score on you, it's harder to run. So we just focus on the defensive end, and it gives us a chance to get out and run. My voice is done. Unless you got something that's just out there I've never even heard of before, give it to me. You got it?
Nice, Coach.
Thanks.
Thank you, Coach.